Morning. What is up, my brother? Leg Day Ryan in the house.
Yeah. I had a goal. I had a goal to use one sound today. I did it. I'm done.
To use one sound?
Yeah, I want to use the tools that are available to us.
Which one did you use?
Oh, you didn't hear it?
No.
Intense. It says applause intense. I'd rather say intense applause, but it's okay. Whoa.
Good morning. Good morning, Savvy. Yeah, Arizona time is probably more convenient, assuming it's not the time when your kids need to wake up and get to school.
Yeah.
That's I think where we hit a little differently for the different time zones,
Savvy,
Jason
what's the
sometimes has people asking for breakfast upstairs.
Savvy, what's like the number one thing that you and your family have noticed? Neither positive or negative, but like you move from Washington down south to Arizona. Like is there a feeling? Is there something you guys are seeing? Is there a different mindset? What is it that kind of is switched up for you guys?
Yeah. And also, how prepared are you going to be for the summer? Good morning, Dan. Because moving down to Arizona in the winter is smart, first of all, because no one needs to move in the summer into Arizona. And it gives you time to adjust and be prepared for the longest, like up in Washington and Seattle, right? It's like you have the longest rainy season of the year, like the longest fall. Arizona is, the longest summer possible. It's just so much heat down there. Good morning, Dan. And good morning, blank screen, no video, Jay. And bye.
He'll be there.
Eventually.
He'll be there.
How was Sloane's walk to school? What was her report?
Oh, nice. Was that yesterday? That wasn't yesterday, was it? No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't yesterday. That was Wednesday. No, today's Thursday, right? So that was Tuesday that she went, and it was perfectly fine. I think very uneventful. And so it was good. I think she was, again, there's nothing kind of to report. So all good there. I didn't really want to dig. I tried not to dig too much in terms of like, it's like, I'll give you a chance if you want to tell me like what you're thinking, why you're thinking it. Because I want them to feel like they have a chance to let me know. They can have another chance, but I want to be like, I don't want to overload them with too many questions there. But yeah, it was definitely good. And then Lauren gave me a little bit of a morning off yesterday, which was really nice. And I just stayed at the gym, worked on a couple more body parts, learning a couple more moves. So
look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh, great. Even during the day in Washington, it feels dark and gloomy. Yeah. Yeah, the sun, I mean, look, there's plenty of science about the sun gives us life. And it is I think I don't know, there's studies out there. I can't quote a study, right? But like people who, like scientists in Antarctica, or people who, work in basements all their life, and don't see enough of the sun, or don't get to tap in with nature. And then, yeah, I think for Savvy, it's that same thing. Now getting some sun time, and she gets to see Brofit. That's kind of like the biggest benefit of all
Are they
of
are they
Arizona.
close?
I feel like everything's close in Arizona.
Oh.
It's weird. Even far away stuff, like, is still pretty close, as long as you're like, Arizona's like, if you're not in rush hour. And in Arizona, rush hour is more closer to like an hour of traffic, versus like rush hour in LA is every hour of the day except 4 a.m.
Mhm.
Like one to, like after midnight and before like 5. Everything after that is just fucking traffic. It doesn't matter what time you go.
It's crazy. That, like, thinking about needing to hop in a car. So first of all,
That's so cool that you're very close to Brian. Did you like
um,
specifically rent a house knowing that you were in his neighborhood? That's what I would have done.
and
I
then
wouldn't
just
have
kept
told
going.
I wouldn't tell my wife, but I'd be like, I really want to live in like this like geo coordinate right here.
Just feels
And
good.
she'd be like, that's so weird. I'd be like, yeah, there's just something like here, like in this circle, there's something there that's like pulling me magnetically. It may or may not have a mustache. What's up, Jason? Jason jumped on
Can you guys hear
earlier
me
and then
talking?
realized
So I
he
can't
had to
hear
go
you
get a
talking.
beanie. I hear you.
I hear Jason.
Damn it.
Do you think maybe he
He
could turn
doesn't.
up his volume?
He
Tech
Do you
doesn't
think his
hear us.
volume's
support.
down?
Tech support.
Let's see it. Wait, hold on. Let's message Jason. Have you ever seen that game where someone has to look at your lips and like they can't hear you? I'm curious if we could say something and then he has to respond. So it's gonna be a question. So let's see what Jason says. Wait, Dom, tell Jason to, I don't know if you can see the chat. Let's ask him a question and then he has to guess what our question was. I can hear Jason too. He just can't hear us apparently.
Well, you guys can just keep talking while I figure this out.
See, like if our question was something along those lines.
Hear
Anyway,
me now.
I'm gonna
Did you
text him
did you
one.
turn it off and turn it on again? How does that go? Oh yeah, this is good dead air right here. Me typing. Sorry, chat. All right. So Sloan's walk was good. My stuff was my life was good. Parent, what is he doing? I'm
We're
gonna
not
mute this
not a
guy.
Nintendo, Jason.
I'm gonna
It's like
mute this
blowing on
guy
us
for a
like
second, guys. Oh man. Um, where's it going? I don't know, man. Oh,
why don't we just pivot? Oh,
my energy level. So we were talking about sleep in our chat, right? And so I
oh yeah,
I started charging my watch a little differently so that I can track my sleep, just out of
that's savvy.
curiosity, because I feel like I've been having some bad sleeps lately.
Hmm.
But then my watch told me that I'm having next to perfect sleep, rating of anywhere from
How about
95 to
now?
98
Now?
for the last 3 nights.
No? Can't hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to Daily Dads. This is Jason, Dom, Ryan. All right.
This guy,
I'll back.
right in time,
I forget this out.
MP. Good morning, sir. Um, so anyways, I've been adjusting my schedule and waking up every day, but I've been noticing now that my energy and my levels of patience significantly drop at like 6 p.m. 7 p.m., like 6, 7, around that time frame. And the other day, it like really culminated in me like just snapping. There he
Yeah.
goes. I thought he was here. We were good. Yeah,
I
everybody get your beanie on except Savvy because she's in Arizona now, so she can throw away all of her beanies. She never needs one any ever again. Send them all up north to Ryan and Blaze and Soggy. Oh, for
Hi,
sure,
Ella.
Soggy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I drop the girls off and I come right back inside, and I need that moment to like warm up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, are we wasting minutes?
I'm never wasting minutes. Do you feel like
Taking
you're wasting
advantage of your
minutes?
minutes. I don't know. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'm like planning for the future too much, worrying about it,
Ugh.
anxiety. But
Okay.
that's
All right.
what today was about, right?
I think so. My Kindle shut off. Yeah.
Got you.
What was today about? Sorry, I need to unplug this thing and get this thing
Oh,
back
it's
on.
about. It says, "Don't let them do this."
Ah, yes. Yeah.
It's a good
Don't
one.
this.
I remember reading this, and I thought it was really good. Can I read this?
Mhm.
There's a book called "Travels with Epicurus." Epicurus. It's by Daniel Klein. And so he had put in his book, he said this. He said, "I remember one long ago evening on an overcrowded train to Philadelphia, hearing a young woman moan to her mother, 'God, I wish we were there already.' Her white-haired mother replied eloquently, 'Darling, never wish away a minute of your life.'"
It's good quote. It's good stuff. It's good reading.
Yeah.
It reminds
And
me
then,
of the Adam Sandler movie Click. That's
yeah.
that's a
Sad
movie I
ending,
think.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. But it's kind of like on this same philosophy, like gets a remote, has the ability to fast forward. So fast forwards through, this and that. And then the remote learns, to auto fast forward. And then next thing you know, he skips half of his life. I think right, isn't the ending to it though that like he didn't actually, it was just like kind of a dream. He woke up and got to actually, have that appreciation. So it was one of those like the three ghosts visit you in a night and you get to see your past, present, and future. It's kind of like that situation.
My favorite story.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite
Yep.
stories of Christmas Carol. Yeah, totally. I feel like Click though, that was kind of at his own hand, and even if it was a dream, I kind of forget. But it also makes me think of God, why? Just hit me. Give me 15 seconds. It also makes me think of not Inception, Interstellar.
Ooh, 12
You know,
seconds. Good job.
oh, nice. But it makes me think of like the time being like ripped away from you, and like you not like, if no one knows Interstellar, they travel to space and then they fly somewhere around a black hole, and then I don't know. I don't understand all of that happens around that time, but time speeds up as they kind of get onto a certain planet, and so it's like Matthew McConaughey, the main character, leaves his kids, big decision, and then he realizes how long he's spent away, and he actually comes back. Spoiler, comes back to Earth at some point, and like he realizes, like he ends up seeing his daughter as like an old woman, and it's like weird. So it kind of like all
Hmm.
kind of like that's right, all right. So like that to me is like a crazy situation. It's like, what did he miss? My goodness. And his daughter was like really upset the whole time, which makes sense. But I think because he was like breaking a promise he didn't know he was. Did you see Interstellar?
I'm gonna have to say I did, but I don't remember. Like, I don't remember anything you just explained. I can't imagine I didn't see it though, but
Maybe not. There's also a lot of clips. Jason's coming in, and it says Jason. Oh, can you hear us? Maybe not.
he
But
looks
yeah, the
twitched
Interstellar
or
is
sassy.
like it's a wild thing. He should just
Yeah,
join from his phone.
I feel a lot of it. Like I've been feeling that a lot lately. With being away from the kids during the day, like my own little version of it. Like
Okay.
I'm fast forwarding through my parenting journey, and I'm just here working and doing this stuff and doing my self stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think I feel it, and that's why the reading coming here kind of helps like kind of shake me back into it. And so I've been, the last week or two, I took a lot more time off for Thanksgiving. All this week I've been home early. Oh, hello, sir. Hello. Which one is it? You there, dude?
Let's do this.
This
Yeah,
is
let's try that.
stupid.
There we go.
Stupid.
There he is. And at 5:48 a.m. Pacific time,
Oh,
we can
you
hear
guys,
him and he can hear us.
did you guys start crying yet?
No,
Oh, okay, good.
we leave that to you.
We were talking about Interstellar. Did you see that movie?
Absolutely, multiple times. What are
It's
your
a long
thoughts?
movie.
What's the connection today?
Wow. Not skipping time.
Not
wanting
wishing a
to
minute of
fast
your life
forward.
away.
Yep, not wishing life away. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's wild, Savvy. Yeah, I watched a video of Savvy. I didn't know this about her, but like when she deployed, I think Ella was a baby or really young. Like her and her husband deployed.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came back, and like her daughter Ella didn't recognize her, but like recognized her voice. Oh, it was Wyatt? It was your son. Okay, sorry. Sorry. So her son. Switch all of that. But he was 5 months old when they both deployed. And then when you came back, how old was he? And it was just a pretty wild. It's wild to imagine like a mom and a dad, and
For
then
sure.
coming back. And it was one of those standard, um, not standard, but like those moments that you see when military come back to their family, and it's been whatever length of time, where it's always tear inducing. It's always like some sort of something like that. So it was crazy.
If
Came
you
back for
want to
his
know
first
more
birthday.
about Savvy's story, you can go over to VDads podcast back in March of 2024. You can listen to part 1 of Savvy's story.
Wait, those still
And
exist?
they do. They're still there. And part 2 right after that. So Savvy, thank you so much for sharing all you did. She did. She shared all that.
Awesome. Yes, I don't remember that. We should do a better job of
You should do a better job, Dom. You should do a better job.
the tech guy. What's
No,
up, Jason?
I've been feeling it.
Sorry, I did not like opening like this. All these tech things. I feel like this is what Ryan deals with on the daily. So yeah, really quick, my connection today is like this particular time of year. It's like it's cold. There's just enough snow and just cold enough where it's like uncomfortable to go outside. And it tends to cause me, I don't know about you guys or my wife or my kids, to kind of like hunker down and focus on things that may not always be like family specific. And I kind of mean in the way of like, yeah, once this snow melts or once this cold goes away, then we can like get back onto what we normally do.
Mhm.
Where, I'm kind of wishing for this time to end. And, it's a regular thought. It's like a regular human thought. What's up, Hazel? Where are your pants? she's sick today. Um,
Mm.
and when we're focusing on the page today, it's like, what are the past few weeks of our conversations or our impending December discussions when we just discuss everything ending, hopefully not in a big fireball, is like, remembering that those times are just as important as like the big events. Um, I've referenced a particular student in the past who comes to school and his first question most days is, when does class end? Despite me having the time remaining in class on the board every single day. And from this page specifically, in the past year, I've said, don't wish the day away, because it's not coming back. Something that has probably been told to us and probably just goes right through our head as a young kid, But then as we're adults and we have kids and we realize the finity of time, that quote definitely hits a little bit heavier. The page today talks about, or no, maybe it was something I wrote. It talks about like the school drop-offs. How many times have I dropped off my kids? Thousands of times. How many do I remember? 5. And sometimes we don't talk, but those are the times that is our most regular time when me and the girls are together. So as best as I can, when I'm in the right mindset, I try to keep those moments special, or memorize them, or lionize them somehow. That's my speech. That's what I wanted to say when I came on here before my microphone started spazzing out.
It's weird.
That's okay.
You got it.
I did it. That's it. That's all I wanted to say.
So proud of
So
you.
glad you said it.
Thanks.
That was time well spent.
What I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? What did you talk about when I couldn't hear you? Besides
Just
making fun of me.
We were just mentioning how much we've noticed that one ear is a little bit off center of your face, and how you should have a lifetime of anxiety looking at it. So
It's interesting you say that. I have my 8th graders doing self-portraits, and I'm also doing a self-portrait. And something that I frequently say is, our faces are not symmetrical. My nose actually shoots off a little bit to the right, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So
beautiful. Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Snapshots in time. Please catch me up.
How do you slow down a moment? I had a thought. Like, if I feel like I'm like, wait a second, I'm like sitting in the future. I'm not sitting in the moment, right? People trying to tell you kind of be where your feet are. I know what I have to do for myself. And I think some people think that I'm maybe doing it for them. I don't know. But a lot of times it's for me. But like, if you're in a moment, you're like, okay, hold on, let's slow this moment down, remember it, whatever. What do you guys do?
I think I've realized that you can't stop it. I feel like I used to be a person who was like, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good at like slowing down time, even if it's just like a mental trick, on myself. Like I always felt like I was somebody who was able to, kind of know what's going on and not get caught up in getting to the next thing. And then I would say like maybe the last year and a half specifically is when I really started to notice the thing that old people always say is, yeah, time just flies on by. And I was talking to another teacher the other night where like a teacher who had his own kids come and go from his classroom. And I'm saying like, yeah, like my middle schooler is already in 7th grade, halfway through her career. I'll have my middle kid next year. And then, probably in about 3 weeks, I'll have my 6-year-old in my middle school studio room. And yeah, it does hit harder for sure. And December, especially when reading this book and this particular chapter, makes it feel more fast.
Yeah.
I don't have
So
an
how
answer.
do you do it? How do you do it, Ryan?
I'm just kind of agreeing with you.
So good. Plus, I feel like your profession, I think a lot of professions, it's like you're kind of looking and you're always planning for the future, which is kind of hard. Like I think there's a lot of lifestyles, careers that are always looking into like the next quarter, or it's like looking for the next thing that has to happen, or budgeting, or I feel like that's something that I was feeling with like I will use the term loosely, just like with entrepreneurship, where it was like I'm no longer enjoying my minutes. I was like, okay, I need to make this much, therefore I have to do this. It's like, here's the steps. And it's like, okay, now I'm just rushing through everything. And it was really uncomfortable. But outside of that larger picture thing, I think one thing that I always have to remind myself, and kind of what I say is just ask questions. Just shut up, ask questions, right? Like stop sharing so much or talking about what's in the future. Like ask a question, whether you ask yourself a question or you ask like the kid a question, or you ask whoever you're with a question. It always just reminds me, it's like, okay, there's a different perspective. Someone else is here with me. And so that's like my way of kind of doing it. Kind of, the question, I think, and then getting the response kind of shakes me back into like knowing, okay, there's a different perspective to kind of take in here. So
yeah, I'll agree with you on that. I would say at this point, what I'm clinging to make moments or stretch them out or hang on to those minutes, it's definitely conversation. Get somebody else talking, so you're not talking the whole time. That's like that's one thing. I don't know. Dom, you asked the question, do you have any ideas on how to do that as we rocket into 2026? Who asked the question? Ryan asked the question.
Ryan asked the question.
We all asked the question. We're just one entity.
I didn't have an answer.
Damn. I was hoping for more.
I just been chatting with MP on the background while you guys talk.
That's perfect. I like how you navigate both StreamYard and then also being on Twitch.
3 screens, homie.
Maybe I just need that. I love to ask my girls this question. This is like a question when I'm like, I really don't enjoy small talk. So like I'll ask my girls, be like, okay, you probably had so many questions. I'm like, what was your favorite smell today? I love that question. Throws kids off. They're like, what are you talking about? But it's like, I always love those fun kind of questions, like out of nowhere. Can I just kind of a spicy question though, kind of like still in the same mindset here. MP, you said yesterday, my oldest told me, Dad, you're being weird. Just let me play alone. My wife teared up a little, but I was able to realize that we hit the dad and mom are annoying stage, but it's only a stage. My first thought was this, and I say this a lot, and it just hit me for a second, and I'm curious where this is. I almost wanted to say like, it's not about you. I'm curious if like, is it really that dad you're annoying? Is it that, that you're weird or whatever it is? Or is there something else kind of there? And I'm asking a little bit like, I think as parents, we can kind of take things so personal. And it's like, I'll bet your kid didn't think that that was probably a statement to kind of push you away a little bit. But, what is it that your kid kind of needed, or your son needed in that kind of moment is my first thought. And then it's like, it's not the absence of you that he's kind of like looking for, I'm sure. It's like something else.
Yeah, so I think I've said a couple of times here, we have like a semi-adopted kid now. I mean, she's 18, so I guess that she's not a kid, but she hangs out at our house a lot. She's painting our house. She's best friends with my daughter, so she has the code to our house, so she just comes whenever she needs to. And the other day I asked her, because she's noted that like she's kind of annoyed by her parents, and I just kind of was like, what could your parents do to like make it less, like make you feel more comfortable, like not trying to get her out of my house because we love her. She's very nice, very kind. She's adapted to each one of my kids. They like her. Like I said the other day, I'm like, I think my kids like that you're here more than they like that I'm here. Which is fine. As long as they have someone, I don't care. Um, break my heart all you want. Uh, and I don't think she had an answer. Like, but it was just something like I was curious about because I know I'm going to get into that own. I know I'm going to get into that phase with Bailey too. Like next year, she turns 18. She still has a year of high school, so like obviously there's still like that responsibility. But once she gets out of high school, like I don't want it to become something where she feels annoyed by me and her mom, and then she's always hanging out at someone else's house, and like we don't get to see her. And it's like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where it's like you just want to be involved in your kid's life, but they take it as you annoying them. Like when you're just asking what they're doing or what they're up to, and you're trying to like kind of like claw at that time, whereas they're trying to like gain independence. So I think MP's experiencing a little bit of that with his younger kid or his kid that is younger. And then I'm
Mm.
seeing like, this, like I said, this girl and her parents are experiencing it and she's 18. And I'm like, I'm getting to that already with Bailey. Like yeah, exactly. I don't know how to fix that.
I was thinking about something like this recently where I obviously know that my oldest is spreading her
Work
wings,
it out themselves.
trying to get out there more. And the idea that she's like always kind of like leaving to kind of go to her, like see her friends, like here in the hallway or someone else's apartment or something like that. I was like, I want you to have that independence. And so my thought was this, tell me kind of how this lands. But I was like, why don't I provide an environment where they can then get together and then they can kind of feel like they have autonomy? And the first thing that came to my mind was like going to like a Dave and Buster's or something, right? Where it's like, if I plan the moment for her to bring her friends and they can now have some of that time alone, I'm still part of her life, right? And I'm hopefully creating an experience at that point too. But it's almost as if like I feel like I'm being lazy by just allowing her to leave and then um go find that like on her
Mhm.
own with her friends. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like kind of like what I was talking about. It's like we're raising them to become adults and teaching them to be independent, but at the same time, we're like teaching them to leave us, or like we're losing our time with them. And
Yeah.
they're arguably our favorite people because we, created them, love them, cherish them, all those things. But I think the struggle is more on us than it is on them, right?
Oh,
Like us
for sure.
rationalizing this fact that like they're gonna go, they need to go. We've been training them to go, and then it's like, oh crap, now you're going. Don't
Don't
go.
go. Like, wait a
Come
second.
back. Come
I
back.
think,
Oh, only on holidays? Okay, well, let's make these holidays amazing.
yeah,
Like,
I think what we can do unintentionally, right? Because we think it's coming from a good place, is start to make our kids feel guilty. And that
yeah, or
guilt, I think,
smothered
wait,
or annoyed or any of those things. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Um, it's a dance.
It's fucking life.
There's a quote I wrote down on Monday. I think Monday was the day that I was also having tech issues. Um,
Right back.
and it's kind of like a teacher quote, but I think it also applies to being a parent in some ways. Like we don't want to like totally lose contact with our kids, but the mark of a good teacher is making yourself obsolete. You know, like teaching kids to the point where they don't need you. Like my best classes are when I'm just walking around and observing because I've done my job and they know what to do. They know how to experiment and make choices and be okay with the outcome. And in a way that kind of applies to being a parent or a dad or mom as they start to kind of forge off into their independence, the less they need you, and maybe I might even say the earlier that they don't need you. Well, I mean, I don't know. Maybe either they might hate you or you've done a good enough job where they're comfortable forging into their independence. And I think with being a parent, just a little bit more of a balancing act. Like, no, I don't want to be overbearing. I still want to be a part of things. But, you know, if my 12-year-old wants to go and be alone or hang out somewhere else with another friend, I'm okay with that. Because I don't think I'm being annoying. I think I've done a good enough job where she is confident enough to be on her own. That's the story that I tell myself.
I think we all, you know, in those moments, I think what I'm realizing we're trying to do a little bit is double down on pride for their independence. Like, I'm proud of them for being independent and having this like first part of me gets a little annoyed that like Bailey has friends over on a Tuesday night and they're in the jacuzzi until 10 p.m. Right? Like, cuz it's a school night and there's that part of me that's like you need to get rest, you need to go to school. But then there's another part of me that's like this is fun. Like she's enjoying this. She's having fun. Her friends think of our house as a safe place for them to be. And they enjoy the house. So I'm paying, you know, god awful amounts of money for the rest of my life on this house, and it is getting enjoyed. So I'm, you know, I'm proud of that. I'm thankful for that. And then I'm also, you know, I'm trying my hardest to instead of give Bailey shit for having friends and all this stuff over till late and stuff like that, say, look, I'm really happy that you have that in your life. Like I'm, you know, like celebrate her wins, right? Like what we do here. Um, I think that's kind of a lot what we need to do when they get to those independent stages of life. Like, you know, Ryan celebrating Sloan walking to school by herself. Like, is it sad that he doesn't get to do that anymore? A little bit, but she's gaining independence. She's learning to navigate in and out of the house. She's learning to navigate timelines to get to school by a certain time. She needs to leave the door by a certain time. All that stuff you taught her, you walked her through step by step, you and Lauren. Um, so congratulations.
Yeah.
Proud of you.
One more piggyback on that, Dom. I like that you brought up the comfort level that Bailey has with her friends at your house. Like I'd say one thing, maybe this is a win, is my oldest being comfortable enough around us while talking to her friends on FaceTime or whatever. You know,
Mhm.
it's like we'll walk into her room and it's not like she doesn't like doesn't hide her phone, she doesn't put it on mute or turn the camera off. She's
Does she
comfortable
let you say
enough.
hi to her friends?
Yeah, and they're my students too. So like that's kind of a cool little.
You're like, whoa. They're like, whoa, that's Mr. Jason's pajamas? Okay. He doesn't dress in a suit and tie at home?
Um, Me and Kristen, we're going to a holiday party on Saturday for our school staff, and we're dressing up as Buddy and Jovi. And I busted into Kira's room in my costume, and her camera was like facing the door. I'm not really sure who she was talking to, but they saw me like that at 8:30 at night.
Feel like HR is getting ready to schedule time with you.
Yeah. Yes, you do need. Who's that? Space Place. Who is Space Place?
Plum.
New picture.
Plum.
Yeah. Once you get your beanie, you're welcome on camera.
That's why we had to wait for Jason to come up earlier today. It wasn't technical difficulties. He just could not find his beanie.
Yeah. My correct Thursday beanie. I could not find it anywhere.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right. I gotta go.
Fun as always, gentlemen. Fun, deep, amazing. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Have a great day, everyone. I am out.
Boop. Bye, y'all.